Buying a car is a very time-consuming process, which is why you want to avoid viewing a lemon in the first place. Here are my top tips before viewing a car. Firstly, you want to check that the car you're looking at is the right price. There are plenty of websites out there which provide you with an approximate retail valuation, but realistically, having a look on Auto Trader or eBay at comparable cars will provide you with the best idea. The fact that a dealer is selling a car as opposed to a private seller makes a big difference, so remember to factor that in. On cars below £5,000 or so, expect dealers to have a 20 to 25% markup on what private sellers sell at, while the figure should fall to about 15% on cars between £5,000 and £15,000. If you think you can get some money off the car you want to go and view, the best way to tell is to see how long the listing has been active for. For eBay, you need to be on your desktop and you can visit the seller's profile. Then sort their listings by newly listed and it will provide all the dates for their listings. On Auto Trader, visit the listing on their website and look at their URL. The first numbers that appear on the URL are the date the car was listed. Next, you want to at minimum take a look at the MOT history. If you search check the MOT history of a vehicle into your browser, the government website appears first. All it requires is the vehicle registration and you're good to go. There are three big things that the MOT history brings to your attention: how well the car was maintained, whether rust is a big issue, and whether the mileage stacks up nicely. If advisories or minors repeatedly come up, that might be an indication that the car was run on a tighter budget, or anything about rust to the vehicle's structure might put me off. On every MOT, a recording of the mileage is also taken, so take a minute to check the numbers all line up. It's worth noting that if there is a sudden dip, but then it returns to its previous trend mileage, it's probably a mistake made by the MOT tester and nothing to worry about. You can also use sites like Car Vertical to find out whether the car's been involved in any accidents, has any outstanding finance, or has been stolen, but you do have to pay for that. Third, you want to make sure that you're going to buy a reliable car. If you've researched the common faults, it's worth making a checklist before viewing to ensure you can tick everything off. I'll probably make a separate video on what to check for when you're actually viewing a car. If you want to be ultra prepared, you could even bring a torch or an OBD scanner to find any faults. Not all cars are made equal though. There are a few cars you just want to steer clear of regardless of their condition before viewing. There are three engines that come into mind most vividly. Firstly, anything with the Ford 1 litre EcoBoost is not worth buying. They use a wet belt timing system which can degrade and then block the oil pump and then cause catastrophic engine damage. From 2018 onwards, the quality of the belt was improved, but I would just steer clear of this engine. If you buy something like a Mark 7 Ford Fiesta, you can get the 1.25 or the 1.4 litre engine, which are pretty reliable units. Secondly, you want to avoid the 1.2 PureTech engine found in Peugeots, Citroens and Vauxhalls. Again, this uses a wet belt system and has exactly the same problem as the EcoBoost engine. If you buy a 2022 onwards car though, the wet belt was replaced with a timing chain, and I have no issue recommending these cars to anybody. The final engine to avoid is the Mazda 2.2 Skyactiv diesel. This car has a very poor DPF system, which when clogged caused catastrophic engine damage. These cars are just not worth buying. The final thing is to make sure that the seller themselves is who they make out to be. Always check the reviews on Trustpilot or Google, as well as the platform you're viewing from. Additionally, any unclear photos, sensationalist or vague descriptions, unrealistically low pricing, listings without a logbook, and sellers with a lack of transparency are often indicators of a dishonest listing.